Cyber Supervision Private Limited. We are into design and deployment of IT, low voltage and audio video infrastructure. I have very recently also on the board of a company called Deep Leads Innovation Private Limited. We are into artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT. So we are also running incubation centers. The first incubation center we have it at Hisar, and this is what my short introduction. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. And which city are you from?
I'm from Delhi.
Delhi, yeah. So Mr. Kulkarni is from Nasik, Pushp is from Delhi. Mahadev?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, visible, fantastic.
Thank you. Myself, Mahadev Ambekar from Pune city. I am basically into land development and revenue consultancy. That is my core competency for so many years. I am also into domestic and international real estate. I'm dealing with Pattaya and Dubai, the two countries for real estate. And for revenue consultancy, I am dealing with right from the Talati up to the lower level to the revenue minister's mantralaya. So I am dealing with all type of land work. Any type of land work, I am dealing it in the sphere of Maharashtra.
All right, great, fantastic. So let's hear from Mr. Sachin Kamath first.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Jigish.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into financial services field and specializing as retirement planning expert since 1 year. Earlier, I used to be only a financial advisor. So I'm niching myself into a financial retirement specialist.
Okay, fantastic. Great.
Yeah. So last 19 to 20 years, I've been in this field. Yeah.
And you're based in Bombay, right?
Yeah, Mumbai. Yeah. Bombay.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thanks. Sachin?
Good morning, everyone. I'm from Mumbai, and I'm into business coaching for entrepreneurs. And also, I have a travel academy, which we are catering to more than 135 clients, travel clients in Mumbai. And that's the reason why we have started this academy. But for the past 1 year, it has been under, there are a lot of things that needs to be changed now. So that's where I'm exploring more, and also part of Forum of Free Enterprise, where which was started in memory of Nani Palkiwala. So I'm part of a faculty with them and conduct sessions for students to develop the leadership qualities. So, thank you.
Awesome. So between 6 of us, we are from 5 cities, and we're into manufacturing, we're into services, we're into training, so different industries. So that I think it's a healthy mix. And let us spend another 2-3 minutes to get why are you in this program. So each one of us can please share 1 or 2 points.
See, Atul, Push here.
Hi, Push.
Me, as I said earlier as well, I always believe in learning and learn something new. That is the way to life. So I try and attend most of the sessions as far as possible, so that I can learn something and try and see how I can implement that in life.
Fantastic. So I would just like to add one more thing to it. If you have some purpose in mind, where are you going to implement it? What are you going to put it to use for? Then you will listen to it more keenly, and you will actually do something which is worthwhile. Otherwise, when we are flying in a flight, there is an in-flight reading material. We read that, right? And we do get something more about some other geography, some other place. But there is no specific agenda to it. So my request is, if you can just look at what could be that one thing, then you'll get more value out of this conversation. All right?
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Sachin?
Yeah, as I'm to helping entrepreneurs to transform their productivity into business profitability. So whatever I could learn new, which can help me in understanding the different concepts. Because of this pandemic, there are a lot of things which are changing, and everyone is coming up with their own knowledge and insights. So learning from people so that it can help my clients, it can help me to grow in my business, and also the challenges. And as I said, the purpose is to help people to transform their passion and productivity into business profitability to whatever comes. Like I do more on the behavioral aspect, but now a lot of people need other they have other challenges, so we need to understand and see how we can help them by learning from all the experts across the globe.
Awesome. Thank you. Mahadev ji.
I always feel that now, after the post-COVID situation, and I was always on this thinking track that if I want to make really a smart money, first is I need a good networking, I need good joint ventures, I need good partners, I need good introductions, new introductions. So this kind of ventures or this kind of opportunities only come through networking or through programs like this, because you never know that maybe somebody else is sitting in Singapore who is like-minded to me, and I may have a joint venture with him, and that is the way how I can grow. Because I know myself that I am not, even if I work for 48 hours, I'm not going to become a Ambani or a Tata, which is practically not possible. But at least I could keep a goal of going to near them somewhere. If they are a 500 crore company, at least I can plan for a minimum 10 crore company. So for that, I need new introductions, new joint ventures. So I think this kind of programs are very
So
useful.
where are you right now?
Right now, I'm not above 5 crores.
Okay,
I'm
fantastic.
below 5
No,
crores.
no worries. ठीक है.
Yeah.
Great. Let us hear from Jigish.
Yeah, my objective is to scale up. How do I scale up using technology? Because I have to accept that technology is the only way faster to scale up, and mainly to do it online, you know. So differentiation and scaling up, both I have to do it more sharply and smartly, because even others are using technology well. And I'm talking in my field, and how do I do it better, impactful, because I'm also doing webinars and all. I've started it recently and it's going well, but I think I can do a better work at it. So I'm here to learn new ideas.
All right, great. Welcome. Yeah, Kulkarni ji.
I am here to satisfy the purpose of life. I'm 60 and it was long desire that I should hand over my business to my son. Let him take it the way he wished to. And I will see that I make more entrepreneurs in India to struggle, survive, and scale up on their own. I'll be standing with them. I'll be handholding with them. I'm working on that. That is a desire actually.
Awesome. Thank you.
मैं 4 उद्योजक खड़े कर पाऊं तो भी मैं सेटिस्फाइड रहूंगा, और मैं गर्व से कहता हूं कि मैंने 40 किए हैं.
तो 4 तो ऑलरेडी हो गए, अब क्या करना है फिर?
तो वो 4 पर 0 बढ़ते जाएंगे ना.
ठीक है. All right, great. So thank you all for joining in. Is it okay if we have a conversation which is Hindi English mix?
Yes.
ठीक है ना? और जहां पर भी आपको कुछ लगे कि जी मेरे को कंट्रीब्यूट करना है, प्लीज कंट्रीब्यूट. Okay, between all of us, we are successful people, we are successful entrepreneurs. There is very little that I will be giving you which is new. ठीक है ना? ज्यादातर जो होगा वो आपको ऑलरेडी पता होगा. ये हो सकता है कि जी I will share it with a different angle, with a different flavor. And that will get more value, that will get more enhanced only when it is a two-way communication. So that's my request. Wherever you think that you can add, please do that. ठीक है, अपने को आधा पौना घंटा 1 घंटा एक्स्ट्रा लगेगा, वांदा नहीं, दिक्कत नहीं है. Right? So let me start with a presentation. I think somebody stepped out. Okay, I think he'll join in. Jigish. So you're able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Great. All right. So my name is Atul Puri, and my purpose in life is to help small entrepreneurs to grow. Growing can have multiple dimensions. Growing in terms of making more money, growing in terms of doing something what they love or what you love, doing something which gives you peace, prosperity, and you would have your own definition. So like Mahadev ji just said, that for him, moving from sub 5 crores to 10 crores, that is happiness. For Kulkarni ji, committing to create 4 entrepreneurs and having already created 40 is happiness. For Sachin Kamath, there is so much new happening. So listening or learning from other players and in turn contributing to the entrepreneurs, that is something what is happiness or purpose for him. Right? So for each one of us, it is our own. That's the beauty of this conversation. When I'm speaking about it, I'm speaking from my perspective. What is landing to you is your perspective. Okay. How this would go is that today we will be talking about the new world order, the direction in which the world is headed. There might be certain things you don't agree to. You're most welcome to not to agree to them. There might be certain things which are absolutely new for you. So please absorb it and make it your own. And there may be quite a few things which you already know. Please forgive me that I'm sharing something which you already know. Right? So today we'll be talking about the new world order. Tomorrow we'll be talking about the leverage paradigm. What do I mean by leverage? Where all you can use leverage in your life, and what all resources do you already have? And then the day after, we'll be talking on what is in it for me. How is it that you can take it to your life, to your business? All right. How this session would go, we'll start with the changing business dynamics. A few of the screens I shared with you on Saturday, and there'll be something more about it. Then I'll share the approach. Then we'll be talking about the 21st century business, futuristic business design principles, Doughnut Economics, fourth industrial revolution, theory of constraints, abundance mindset, and we will close the day with the India story. Okay, so this you would observe some of the bonuses that I had shared with you are already there. I'll be covering those. Okay, so changing business dynamics. The first piece I'd like to bring to your notice is that every time some small change has happened, there is a new world which has got exposed. When man discovered that he has a movable thumb, tooling started to become possible. Do you know that man has a movable thumb? एक बार ऐसा करो, इसको हिला कर देखो, ये देखो. Now, this is the distinguishing feature between a man and the animal kingdom. You look at any animal, none of the animals have a movable finger, thumb. And it is this thumb which gives you the ability to hold things. And this in turn allows you to work on and with tools. Isn't that awesome? Imagine thousands of years back when human beings, they discovered that they had a movable thumb and they could do something with it. That is when the Stone Age started. All right. Let us look at something else. Discovery of fire. So when human beings, they discovered fire, they started harnessing energy for their benefit. Invention of wheel. It mechanized the tooling. Archimedes' principle, it opened maritime. Earth is round, discovery of Americas. Earth revolves around the sun, concept of seasons. Right? So just absorb these 6 statements. Every time a small shift has happened, there is a new world which has opened. Now, this is an image which all of us would have seen a number of times, if not the complete, at least part of it. So we evolved from monkeys to become human beings and then IT beings. I'll share something with a different perspective over here. Primitive ages, Middle Ages, Industrial Age, Information Age. And what do you think is the next age? Any guesses?
Information age. Right?
We're already there in the information age.
Digital.
That is again information.
Disruptive.
Okay, how will it become disruptive?
Because see, the way we used to do things from the initial ages to the information ages, and now it is becoming a disruptive where we can actually replace, our through machine learning or the way we used to do things. Those things will replace.
Definitely.
I think this is a digital revolution.
Okay, fair enough. Digital revolution. All right. So we have always been disruptive. Man has known to be disruptive. Okay, we chopped down the forests, we dug the earth, we traveled all around the earth, we did everything. All that is disruptive. वो दिमाग में खुराफत तो शुरुआत से है, right? The next, I call it the age of leverage, wherein you start leveraging or you continue to leverage your resources to the greater extent. So the primitive ages were defined by survival. So when man discovered fire, he used fire to safeguard himself. So man would burn fire outside the cave so that the wild animals don't attack them. That was survival. Or they used bows and arrows. They used technology to survive, to hunt, so that they can have food for the night, for the day. Middle ages were about luxury. Why I say so is, during this period, they got present to other parts of the globe. So they would source silk from China, which was luxury. They would source spices from India, which was again luxury. They would source cotton from Egypt. marble from Italy. This was the beginning of luxury, if you would see. And then what happened during the industrial age? Mass consumption. So if you look at the entire industrial age, it is all about mass consumption. If the motor car was made in an assembly line so that mass production could happen. Or if the steam engine was created, it was used for mass transport, bulk transport. All right. Then information age is about 3 words, ERA. Would you like to know what do these 3 words mean? अगर आप पूछेंगे तो बताएंगे, नहीं तो आगे बढ़ते हैं.
नहीं सर, हम
Yes, please.
ठीक है जी. So E stands for experience. R is for relationships. A is algorithms. ठीक है जी. So now just imagine you are there on Amazon. Anybody who has not been to the Amazon website? कोई ऐसा है? So I assume all of us have been to the Amazon website. So now Amazon is all about selling products. How do they sell those products? By displaying them on the website. And how do they do that? They do it using algorithms or software. ठीक है? Have you ever observed that whenever you are there on Amazon, and if I were to open Amazon right next to you, what I will see on my screen will be different from what you will see on your screen? That happens, one, to give a distinct experience, personal experience. मेरा experience Amazon का और आपका experience Amazon का दोनों अलग-अलग होंगे. Third piece, जो products Amazon आपको दिखाता है और जो मुझे दिखाता है दोनों अलग-अलग होंगे. That comes from the relationship Amazon has with us. मैं लास्ट टाइम गया तो मैंने वहां पर जो बुक देखी, वो वाली बुक तो डेफिनेटली दिखाई देगी, उसके साथ में 2-3 बुक्स और दिखाई देंगी which will be similar. Or if I bought a mobile phone sometime back, I would get similar mobile phones or maybe the accessories of those mobile phones. So this is where a platform like Amazon is using experience, relationships, and algorithms to connect with their customer. Does this make sense?
Yeah, lot of sense.
And then the age of leverage is all about less is more. ऐसा नहीं है कि it has happened now. हम जब पैदा हुए थे तो हमारे घरों में जो बिजली आती थी उसके लिए हम बल्ब लगाते थे. 40 वॉट के बल्ब की रोशनी कम होती थी, 60 वॉट का जनरली ठीक होता था. हमने बहुत ज्यादा रोशनी करनी होती थी तो 100 वॉट का करते थे, और उससे भी ज्यादा अगर करनी होती तो 250 वॉट का बल्ब होता था. राइट? किसी के घर में और हम 15 वॉट का बल्ब होता था जिसको हम 0 वॉट का बल्ब कहते थे. Now, if you look at it, in all our homes, we would have already shifted to probably LED lights, wherein 250 watts, you can light up the entire home, 3 stories. So this is what I mean by less is more. In less power consumption, we are using technology to have more light. Right? The Bajaj scooter, Bajaj Priya or Bajaj Chetak, they used to give around 18-20 kilometers, maybe not even 20 kilometers per liter of petrol. Hero Honda started with 80 kilometers per liter. And today 60-70 kilometers would be an average for a bike. Our cars are giving an average of 13, 14, 15 kilometers per liter. Isn't it? So this is less is more, my friends. So this is where we are headed. Now this is the seat what I showed you the other day, and I'm just repeating that once again. So around 20 years, we were very much in the brick and mortar world. The business used to happen by physical interactions. Right? It was a lot more analog than it is today. We did have the internet, but internet had just about started coming in. And then in about 15 years, we moved to the digital world, wherein all of us were impacted, but we were still not dependent on the digital world. Right? If you see, none of these tools, other than the mobile phone, are ones on which we had a lot of dependency 5 years back. And then digitization happened, and we started using digital money. And then we moved from the digital world to the connected world. The handshake gave way to handcuff, and we were handcuffed with the mobile. I shared this on Saturday as well. Can one of you give me the full form of FANG? F-A-N-G. Hello?
Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google.
Fantastic. And what is so special about this FANG?
This is all about experience, as you said, it is experience and the relationship, and that is what we are stick with how we are stick with Amazon and the Netflix and the Facebook. It is a part of our everyday life, I believe.
Absolutely.
We also connected in both social and for business through mainly these platforms. The maximum business and social interaction now is being done on these platforms.
Absolutely. What else? What else? Madhavji, you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say that right now we are living into the two worlds. Right now, first is a reality world and another is a virtual world.
Right.
So we are taking the support of the virtual world to live in the reality world. That's what I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the interesting piece about this FANG is between four of them, they have largest amount of data on this planet. Means if we go by the artificial intelligence or the analytics that Google or Amazon or Facebook uses, they can even predict what clothes are you likely to buy next summer. They can probably say what fabric will you buy, probably which place will you buy, and how much would you buy. I'm saying what you means as an individual. That is the amount of data these people are sitting on. On one end, we are talking about concerns about privacy. On the other end, so much about us is known out there in the digital world that it is not funny. ठीक है जी? Then we've got the Apple and Android. You got the Play Store and YouTube. Then you got so many other digital platforms. Zomato and Swiggy have already started replacing our kitchens. Ola and Uber have started replacing our cars. Make My Trip and Oyo have started giving us rooms to stay. GPay has joined Paytm for the digital money revolution. And Jio has been a great enabler in this entire journey. Zoom, SEO, and mobile have become even more important. And e-growth has also been growing during this period. 6 months later, we moved to the masked world. And what has actually happened is the adoption of the digital platforms has become much faster than what it would have probably happened earlier. Right? So this has been the major shift. And we've gone into the Namaskar world. Here's another thing which I'd like to bring your attention to. If you would see historically, this is probably how the labor was distributed on this planet. A very large number of casual labor or daily wages, we can hire them on per hour, per day basis. Then still a pretty large number blue collared, typically doing the physical job in factories and other places or in the retail industry, wherever. And then comes the white collar job, typical office or admin kind of jobs, sales jobs, those kind of. And then comes the CXO club on the top. With the technology coming in and globalization happening, this is what is happening. Okay. The casual labor, it is still there. By virtue of technology and globalization, the blue collar jobs, they are shrinking because you don't need so much of work to be done physically. A lot of it has been taken up by technology. And similarly, the white collar jobs have also started to shrink. Because of this, what has happened is the so-called white collar employees and the executives, they have started kind of retooling. Okay. growth in the higher middle skill jobs, professional and technical. This has been increasing over here. And the executive level, which was reduced, there are larger number of people who are ready to take up the CXO jobs. Okay. And now let me share another very interesting thing before we break for a moment. During this period, mosquitoes have also evolved. In 1970s, 1980s, we used Finate and Baygon for killing mosquitoes. Then sometimes in 1980s, we got this brand called Tortoise. And then you had mosquito agarbatti everywhere. And then we also had Odomos, mosquito repellent, which we would apply on our body. And then came the mats, mosquito mats. And now if you see, there are roll-ons, and then you can apply, you got the good nights. And then there are mosquito mats, which you can stick on. So especially for babies, you will stick them on their clothes and mosquitoes would stay away. And we also have the hit can and all that stuff. So like this, the product, the technology, the acceptance, all has been changing. And let us see how we have been evolving. There was a time when classifieds used to be a very important thing because people used to read newspapers. And then there was a time when yellow papers or yellow pages started becoming important. Every locality would have their local ones. And then SMS became important. And then email. And today we've got WhatsApp. So like this, the platforms have also been changing. All right. Now I am open for a discussion. What have you got so far out of the slides that we've covered so far? Hanji Mahadev ji.
First thing is, I should really thank you for such a beautiful presentation starting today. And I think I got something very key pointers for me is the first lesson I learned from this today's morning session is everything is evolving fast and I need to get adjusted with the stream. I also need to evolve now because day to day the technology is changing and a lot of changes are taking place in the world. So I cannot remain back, but I need to evolve. This is the first lesson I got. Second is this mosquito example what you give was very nice. I didn't think of it that the technology is changing so fast and we as a businessman I think we are lacking in our thoughts. But still we are going with the traditional ways and we need to adopt the things whichever are coming faster to us to at least survive in this world now. I will not say about the progress and everything, that's a different part. But for the basic survival, all this is required. So nowadays, if you don't have a phone and a smartphone, then you are outcast completely. You are not in the flow. In a way, I think each and every area of business has to be improved. That's what was my learning right now.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Others?
I think push.
Yeah, push.
I believe what is important is now today that we need to start leveraging. So everything is available around us. So let's leverage.
Absolutely. See, I think all the inventions which had to be done are done. Now we've got to make use of putting them together. Yeah. Anybody else? Kulkarni ji? Sachin?
Yeah, I feel that change with the change or change will change you. There is no
Absolutely.
time to think.
Yeah, great. Thank you. कुलकर्णी जी आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ, I would like to add value to it by maybe attracting your attention towards the mosquito case presented by Atulji. We have to improve, otherwise we have to improve with some different pace. As in the initial stage you told that the thumb is the only thing different from animal segment and human segment. So there is a reality which has been told since long, that ahar nidra bhaya maithunancha सामान्य येतत् पशुभि नराणाम ज्ञाने ही एको अधिको विशेषो ज्ञानेन विना पशुभि समानः. आहार यानी कि ईटिंग, निद्रा that is sleeping, bhaya that is fear of death, fear of attack, fear of accident, fear of getting killed, और मैथुन that is reproduction system, let us put it that way. ये तो जानवरों में भी है और इंसान में भी है. तो इंसान में और जानवर में अलग क्या है? तो अवेलेबल रिसोर्सेज का सही ढंग से इस्तेमाल करने का ज्ञान इंसान के पास है और उसने वो करना चाहिए. जैसे सुधार तो ऐसे ही होता है, नेचर ही सुधारते जाता है. अगर नेचर ही सुधारते जाता है, एवरी लाइवलीहुड को, लिविंग बीइंग को अपना अपना तरीका ढूंढना पड़ता है, वो ढूंढ लेते हैं. मॉस्किटो रिपेलेंट की केस जो है, हर चीज को मॉस्किटो रिपेलेंट कहा जाता है, किलिंग नहीं कहा जाता है. मॉस्किटोस आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू गो अवे फ्रॉम दैट पर्टिकुलर टेरिटरी. उसमें एक चीज मिसिंग है. शुरू में हम मच्छरदानी करके ऐसा कपड़े का रूम बनाते थे अपने बेड के बाजू में, ताकि मस्किटो अंदर नहीं आवे. फिर हम क्या सोचने लगे कि ये रूम में नहीं रहे. फिर हम क्या सोच रहे हैं कि हमारे घर में नहीं रहे. तो मॉस्किटो ढूंढते रहे कहाँ जाए. वो तो वैनिश नहीं हुए इस प्लेनेट से. तो ये सिचुएशन जो है, जो भी सदमा पड़ा है, अगर मॉस्किटो बदलते हैं तो हम क्यों नहीं बदले? हमने तो बदलना चाहिए. ये दैट इज व्हाट मैसेज आई वुड लाइक टू, व्हाट आई गॉट फ्रॉम योर प्रेजेंटेशन, दैट आई वुड लाइक टू स्पीक. थैंक यू.
Thank you. Jigish, you would like to share something?
Yeah, it is frightful actually, the speed at which the change is happening, and I feel I am not moving as the speed, even not able to think so much quickly. By the time I'm like adapting to the new way, things are changing even more rapidly. So my adaptation level, thinking and adaptation level also has to go faster, I feel.
Great, thank you. हाँ जी महादेव जी.
Atulji, I think this is really a challenging time right now, which we all are going through. Because I know a very close friend of mine who was running a very good travel agency, and he used to tell me that 10,000 है तो ठीक है बाद में दे दो, इतना कुछ जल्दी नहीं है. Today he has closed down his office. He is selling fruits and dry fruits. He has taken a bank loan and he has to pay the EMIs. And his office is closed. And the new business which he has started, the income is not there that where he can at least pay the EMI of the bank. So this kind of situations I think are really tough, and I think everybody must be going in their areas of this kind of challenges right now. So I think this is a very, very challenging time in the last 25 years maybe, क्योंकि अभी तक तो हमारा को ऐसा था कि रिसेशन है, बिजनेस थोड़ा कम ज्यादा है, थोड़ा कम चल रहा है, लेकिन अभी तो पूरा नेचर ही चेंज हो रहा है, ट्रेंड ही चेंज हो रहा है. the person who was into foreign travels now selling dry fruits and fruits, what kind of life he must be going through right now. So I think this is a whole situation needs to be analyzed, and the solution for this is really challenging, which is coming ahead in front of all of us.
Great. So thank you, Mahadevji, for sharing this. I would just request all of you to not be so pessimistic. ठीक है? Change हमेशा से आती रही है. So around 1991, when Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister, he started speaking about 21st century, and one revolution that he brought in was telecom revolution. ठीक है? हर 50 मीटर के ऊपर आपको एक STD ISD PCO मिलता था. So that was a new opportunity which got created, right? 1995 mobile phones came into India, and around 2000 or maybe after that, mobile phones started becoming more affordable for everybody. That is when STD ISD PCO started moving out. ठीक है ना? तो वो तो एक धंधा हुआ, एक धंधा बंद हुआ. जो ये ट्रैवल वाला एजेंट का वाला जो बिजनेस था, ये आज से 25 साल पहले नहीं था. उस समय तो इतने एयरक्राफ्ट भी नहीं चलते थे इंडिया में. So don't worry about a business being shut down. That is a part of reorganizing. ठीक है जी? और ये जो ट्रैवल एजेंट जो बंद हुए हैं, ये कोरोना के कारण बंद नहीं हुए हैं. This writing has been on the wall for some time. हम पांचों में से पिछले 5 साल में से हमने कितनी बार ट्रैवल एजेंट को यूज किया है? I have not used anybody.
Very few times.
है ना? So that simply means consumer behavior has been changing.
Yes. True.
So if the travel agent is waiting for a corona to come and to close his business, then it is wrong. आज आपको अगर पहले आपको रेल की टिकट लेनी होती थी तो you needed to go to a tout because directly available नहीं थी. फ्लाइट की टिकट लेनी होती थी तो मुश्किल होती थी. Today you walk into an airport and you get the ticket right there. Similar is the case with insurance agents. वो भी भगने वाले हैं. See, bottom line is, in any business, if you are not adding value to that business, if you are just into selling a product, you don't have a very long life. Kulkarni ji, you want to say something?
Yeah. I would like to tell the same thing. When travel agents and tours and travels, they are really weeping and telling this is the situation, this is the situation. But since long the revolution has already started, they could not sense it. Make my trip and they go Abibun, this and that. They have started making dent on that particular area where their automation and artificial intelligence and technology is going to surpass a human hand and brain sitting in an office as a tours and travels agent. That was the indication which was received. Maybe it is again after analysis for everybody, but the person who is in that business must sense the thing. The way the mobile industry is sensing today, that electrical industry may surpass the requirements tomorrow. The way the things in tire industry are thinking that honeycomb tire may surpass the tube requirement in future. The way the automobile industry, auto gear cars are coming more, so clutch industry is going to get affected. So this indication is already there. There are always 1, 2, 3 indications given by the nature. No business collapse without any signal as such. The signals are given, but signals were not taken. Rather, I will advise or request Mr. Atul Puri to teach us how to understand the signal.
Right.
Change is inevitable.
So this journey is all about that. Okay. So let's move on. So the approach that, so far, was this a good icebreaker for all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. So we're just about to start the program, okay? This is the kind of approach that we are going to take. Have you heard this story? Elephant and the 6 blinds or 5 blinds?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? So the new world is very much like the elephant, and each one of us will give our view of the world. Right? So what I have done is I have put together a few different views. The first one is a socialist view, which is about sustainability and development on this planet. The second view is the business design view. The third view is of the world economics. Fourth is technology, evolution of industry. Fifth is mindset. Sixth is my personal view on it. And the last one is management consultant's view. Is this a good approach?
Of
Yes.
course, yes, of course, yes.
Great, thank you. So let us look at the 21st century business. Where are we headed and how is it happening? Right? Now there are some changing dynamics. World wars are a matter of past. Survival and sustenance is not a concern anymore. Hatred is not fashionable. The world is not bipolar or unipolar anymore. Oil economy is shaken. Industrial revolution is over. And let us look at the global equalizer. Information technology is a global equalizer. So with the technology being there, whether you are in Brazil or in the United States does not make any difference. Green and sustainable initiatives are there. Love and affection, quality of life, compassion. All these are global equalizers which bring everybody on the same planet, on the same platform. Have you heard of these sustainable goals, sustainable development goals by the United Nations? Push, have you heard of it?
Yeah, I have.
Great. Mahadev ji?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Kulkarni ji?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
Fantastic. Kamath ji? And Patel ji? Okay. So these are the goals which have been put together by United Nations to be achieved by 2030. There are 17 goals in all. The first one is end poverty on this planet, end hunger on this planet, well-being, quality education, gender equality, water and sanitation for all, affordable and sustainable energy, decent work for all, technology to benefit all, reduce inequality, safe cities and communities, responsible consumption by all, stop climate change, protect the ocean, take care of the earth, live in peace, mechanisms and partnerships to reach these goals. So this is the direction in which the world is headed. So if you have a business which is in this line, that is going to last longer. All right. What did you get out of this?
I think there are so much business opportunities lying around.
Absolutely.
So instead of me going with traditional businesses and struggling with it, I should be in a position to immediately diversify, join hands with people who are in these areas and grow.
Awesome. ठीक है ना? So अभी just around 5-7 minutes back you were talking about the plight of travel agents, right?
Yeah.
Now you see how much opportunity is there.
True.
Isn't it? It is purely, where are we? They say when one door closes, there are 10 more which open. But if you continue looking at the door which is closed for a very long time, you will not be able to see the doors which have opened. आज से 15 साल पहले हिंदुस्तान में, इंडिया में मोबाइल फोन की दुकानें नहीं होती थी. Today you will have lakhs of people who are earning just because of mobile phone. कोई बंदा मोबाइल फोन के रिचार्ज बेचता है, कोई उसके ऊपर स्क्रीन गार्ड लगाता है, स्क्रैच गार्ड लगाता है, कोई मोबाइल फोन बेचता है, कोई उसकी कनेक्टिविटी बेचता है. So much around that, right? That did not exist 15 years back. उस समय तो किसी ने नहीं बोला कि जी हमारा ये नया बिजनेस आ गया है, इसको नहीं आना चाहिए. लेकिन आज ट्रैवल का बिजनेस रैप अप हो रहा है तो अरे बहुत बड़ा नुकसान हो गया. भाई, somebody saw that opportunity and he started building, selling mobile phones. Right? So the opportunity is there. What do you want make out of it? That is your call. Anybody else? What did you get out of the conversation?
Align your business with 2030 goal of world.
Absolutely.
And grow.
Absolutely. See, oil economy is shaken. So the vehicles, the cars and the buses are shifting. They will not be driven by oil anymore. अब electric vehicle में, if you are able to look for that opportunity and do something over there, do you think you will survive next 30 years?
No, hydrogen car is going to come.
Fair enough. Let it be hydrogen car. Whatever it is not the current oil-based engine, right?
Yeah.
So the dynamics are changing, whichever way it is.
Yeah.
But if you say that I will make life by changing tires, that may not be required at all.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Let us look at the futuristic design principles. We have moved from disconnected world to a networked world. See, long back, we used to go to railway stations and purchase the ticket there, and we did not know whether we'll get a ticket or not. And then with the computerization, Today, getting a ticket is so much more easier because the transparency has come there. The entire thing is networked. From a closed world, we are moving towards an open world. I got my PAN card in 1997. At that time, it used to be a plain paper which had to be laminated. From there till today, how much of the economy is linked to your PAN card and the income tax transactions? Right? So we moved from closed system towards open systems, whether it is government or private, whether it is personal or public. From fixed, we've moved towards fluid systems. Means आज communicate करने के लिए you don't have only one telephone. You can communicate using a mobile phone, using a landline, you can send an email, you can send an SMS, you can send a WhatsApp, you can communicate on Facebook, you can communicate on LinkedIn. कितना ज़्यादा है, right? So whatsoever you do, there are multiple choices available. The world has become fluid. From volume to value. Today, when you go to an Amazon and you're trying to buy there, they've not just put a price list and you go and select the product. They customize that experience for you. That is where the value lies. Everybody wants to be treated as an individual. From risk to an opportunity. There are so many opportunities. From consumers, we've moved towards citizens. What opened up for you in this one slide?
It talks about moving from the fixed mindset to abundance mindset.
Absolutely. See, whether you like it or not, you will have to move there. Now the choice is whether you get forced into it or you choose to get into it. Yeah. Hanji, somebody else was saying something?
Yeah, it talks about the change which is inevitable now. You know, and which is with a full force. This change is happening.
Absolutely.
And one more thing I realized is, I read somewhere, change brings growth. So now I realize after looking at this slide that what the author was trying to say is fine, that Fanta was really true. Is change is bringing not only change for the sake of change, but it is bringing growth also.
Definitely. It's purely a choice that you make. See, गंगा ने तो बह जाना है. आपने उसमें से पानी निकाला कि नहीं निकाला वो आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. Anybody else, or do we move on? ठीक है. So now let us look at the economic model. So Doughnut economic model. So what the author says is that for sustainable life or sustainable living, the life has to be in this light green model space. अगर उसको आप ज्यादा compress करते हो social foundation में, then there are challenges. Okay, so water, income, education, resilience, voice, social equality, all that stuff. They are social aspects. अगर आप physical aspect में ज्यादा उसको consume करते हो, then also there is a challenge. land use, climate change, freshwater use, nitrogen and phosphorus cycles, ocean acidification, all these things are challenges. This is the current scenario. Climate change is already beyond the boundary. Nitrogen, phosphorus loading is already there. Land conversion is already there. Biodiversity loss is already there. कितने जंगल हैं जो खत्म हो चुके हैं. Natural habitats are not there anymore. Water, there are places we don't have drinking water. We don't have enough food supply. Health is a concern. Education, quality education is a concern. Income and work is not available. Peace and justice is not there. Political voice is not heard. Social equality is not there. Gender equality is not there. Housing is a challenge. Networks, energy, all these things. So there are 7 ways to think like in the 21st century. The first one, change the goal from GDP growth to donut. See the big picture from self-contained market to embedded economy. Nurture human nature from rational economic man to social adaptable humans. Get savvy with systems from mechanical equilibrium to dynamic complexity. Design to distribute from growth will even it up again to distributive by design. See, just think of it. अगर आप सिर्फ growth की तरफ देखोगे तो growth is not sustainable. At some level, growth stops. And then there is something else which pops up. That is what we're talking about. Create to regenerate. So sustainable way of life. So use fuels which can be regenerated. Fossil fuels cannot be regenerated, right? Be agnostic about growth, from growth addicted to growth agnostic. Growth is not the primary function of life. Think globally, act locally. All right. I'll just take you through this video.
Go to earlier slide. We could not read it. It was too fast.
This, don't worry, I'll share this with you. This one. Yeah. See, the first one it says is from GDP growth to move towards donut. What is GDP? Let me just show you this video. Uske baad mein then we can ask questions. Okay.
I'm fascinated by a question, and I know I'm not the only one. And that question is, what should economy...
Are you able to hear the sound?
Yes.
Great.
...be aimed at?
Okay.
Well, I studied economics at university 20 years ago, and we never actually asked that question, even though it seems like a very fundamental one, because the answer was a given. It was economic growth. Over the past years, though, economic growth has had a good ride. Since 1970, it's
Yes. So I'll share these videos. There are more of them. Okay. So we need to look at a world which is sustainable. So now share what is it that you got out of this? Anybody?
I think the world is moving towards a sustainable development and sustainable growth, and also the whole economics is changing in so many years now. Every year, I think the economics is going to change depending on the situations and depending on the sustainability, what is happening in the world, on the planet, I mean, not in the world, on the
Absolutely.
planet. And it
Absolutely.
is all interlinked, and all are interlinked in a very major way, that we will come to conclusions in some years what is happening.
Great. So it's not about business in Pune or in my locality. It is about the entire planet. So unless we get into businesses which look at such a large picture, it will be difficult to survive. Yeah.
अतुल जी,
हाँ जी.
इससे ऐसा भी संदेश यानी कि मैसेज
हाँ जी.
हो सकता है कि you have distracted the abundance which was already available in your own wish and direction. You feel good for humankind, human being. Please go back to normal, otherwise you will be treated like an animal.
Absolutely.
Is a message from nature.
Absolutely.
So
Now
we
let
will
us.
have to go back. We will have to go back to normal. We will have to go back to our ancient culture, law of land, relation of land, sanskar of land. As well, we will have to work only where there is a brain essential.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move on. So we're talking about the fourth industrial revolution. And so let us look at what was the first, second, and third, and the fourth industrial. What do we mean by fourth industrial revolution? So in 1700s, when the steam locomotive was invented, with that, industrialization became really fast. So that was about moving raw materials from one part of the world to another part of the world and all the stuff. So that was the first. The trigger was steam engine. In 1800s, the second industrial revolution happened. And this time the thrust was electricity. In 1900s, computing started coming into our life, and we had the third industrial revolution. And right now we are standing on the fourth industrial revolution, which is all about everything being connected. Or as they would say, Internet of Things, IoT. Let us look at another perspective. Industry 1.0 was all about mechanization, steam, power, VV gloom, everything. Industry 2 was all about mass production, assembly line, electrical energy. Industry 3.0 was about automation, computers, electronics. Industry 4.0 is about cyber, physical systems, Internet of Things, and networks. So Industry 4.0 is primarily about digitization, integration of value chains, digitization of product and service offerings, and digital business models and customer access. Right? Fourth revolution is all about capturing different kind of intelligence. And it is going to impact everywhere in our life. Smart mobility, smart factories, smart cities, smart healthcare, energy, retail, homes, entertainment, logistics, you name it, and the industrial revolution is impacting it. And as the previous author said, it is distributive by design. So there is no one way of doing things. There are multiple ways of doing things, multiple ways of achieving the same ends. Okay, I'll just show you another video, and then we'll again break for a conversation. All right.
So,
Anybody?
so where does sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So where does this agricultural revolution stand in this? We are talking about the industrial revolutions, we are talking about the evolutions, but I think agricultural revolution was the first revolution on this planet, and then everything emerged from out of that. So agricultural revolution must be having a place in the industrial revolution also, no?
Definitely it has, no? So if you look at the way agriculture happens, agriculture itself is becoming an industry. They're talking about contract farming, then they're talking the implements those are being used for agriculture, the cold storage, the entire life cycle of the product, the supply chain, that has been created accordingly now, isn't it? So all that is adding to the agri-based economy. One of the biggest problems earlier was that a major percentage of the produce that used to get wasted because it would never reach the mandi or the market, or during the type of the harvest, the rate crashes so much that it does not remain viable to grow the crop anymore.
True.
Right? So now, what if during that period you are able to keep that in cold storage and release the product gradually to the market? So you see all these things happening. Anybody else?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next conversation. Here we are talking about constraints as a force forward. So it talks about theory of constraints. Which many of you who have been involved with, say, Six Sigma or with Kaizen, you would have come across these terms. Okay. The first piece is value stream mapping, which essentially is identifying the process or the requirements. Second piece is putting that into structure, what they're talking about exploiting. So 5S is all about standardizing your processes. So here, this image is from the perspective of a factory, but it is applicable to all aspects of business. So first you identify, then you standardize, and then you subordinate. So some of those things you hand over to the other people. All right. And then you continue to work towards increasing the quality. That is elevate. And then you again repeat the same cycle. So that is how you keep on improving the product. So identify, standardize, delegate, elevate, and repeat. So this you continue doing this cycle and you'll see improvement in processes happening. I took this and I looked at a perspective of how different nations have performed across the globe and what are the kind of constraints they have faced. So I took the list of the top 30 developed nations on this planet. And then if you see the ones in this purple color, so which is Norway, Iceland, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, all these are the Scandinavian countries. The constraint that they face is that they've got extreme climate. Okay, half a year they don't have sun, and half a year they have sun throughout the day. And there is so much snow, the temperature is so low. So the people in these areas, they've become so resilient. It's not strange that they are a developed nation. Even when they don't have land for cultivation, there is a lot what they cannot do because it is so cold. Yet they have been so industrious that they have created some of the best nations in the world. All right. Next, let us look at Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Czech Republic. These are landlocked nations. That means they don't have access to the ocean or the sea. Yet they are able to conduct business. Yet they work on technology, yet they work on creating opportunities for their people. Not only their people, but for the people elsewhere as well. Next, let us look at Ireland, Hong Kong, Singapore, United Kingdom, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, and Malta. All these are islands. Being islands, they've got limited space. There are certain times of the year when it is really difficult to live there. There is either too much of rain, it is too hot, too cold, all that stuff. Yet these nations, they have been able to make that transition to developed nations. All right. So this is what constraints are able to do for you. You look at how is it that you deal with constraints. If you have a relationship with a constraint that you will use it to go beyond, then you will see a lot more success. So here's yet another video.
I think, Atul, what I believe is internal drive is the only factor which can, push you to the limit and so that you can taste the success. So that should never be die.
Absolutely. What else? So should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we just looked at the constraints, the theory of constraints, right? So even if there are constraints, those constraints add on to us. Now we look at the diametrically opposite piece, which is the abundance mindset. I just love this piece. Okay. So let us have a distinction between the scarcity and abundance mindset. So scarcity always comes from you're the victim, a bully, or simply checked out. And the abundance mindset says that you are in the driver's seat. Physical energy in case of scarcity is low. In case of abundance, it is relaxed and alert, expansive posture, rooted and balanced, present, breathing deeply and evenly, right? So you're at ease. Emotional energy, feeling empowered, engaged, positive, like you're working on something bigger than yourself, right? You energize and inspire others. You're excited about challenges and growth ahead. Mental energy, feeling of clarity and ability to perceive multiple angles. Listen actively and notice what others are not seeing. Flexible and adaptable. Typical thought pattern. I have always a choice. If I were to notice something new, what would it be? All right. So abundance mindset is about exponentials. It's about ingenuity, and it is all about opportunity. This is something which I have picked up, and this is something which is important for us. Okay, let us look at the economic history of India. Historically, India was the largest economy in the world for almost 3 millennia. Okay, ending till the British Raj. India was the world leader in manufacturing, producing 25% of world's industrial output until mid 18th century, prior to the British rule. So if you look at the global scenario, around mid 18th century, the industrial revolution was happening in Europe. And that is the time when Europe impacted India. Otherwise, till that time, India was a superpower. India's share in the world economy declined from 24.4% in 1700 to 4.2% in 1950, immediately after independence. Share of the global industrial output declined from 25% in 1750 to 2% in 1900. Right? Now let us look at the abundance mindset which is there in India. India never attacked other territories. India has been culturally rich. Foreign invaders coming and being absorbed within India. Indians in America are entrepreneurs, not slaves. India, fair play comes naturally to Indians. Democracy, punctual treaty, non-aligned movement, all these are examples of the same. Absence of acrimony. We've been a universal giver or a donor. So you look at whenever UN peacekeeping forces have aligned, India has definitely been there. And all this comes from the abundance mindset. Right? Let us look at the public investments that India has made. So as a nation, we've invested in education, research, power, energy, infrastructure, heavy industry. in terms of philanthropy, if you look at the Indian industrialists, they invest in creating health infrastructure, schools, colleges. If you look at the overall philosophy, Vasudev Kutumbakam, the world is our home. Contribution comes naturally to us. Now, I'd like to link this abundance mindset to the center of power and abundance across the globe. India was the center of power till the time the center of abundance was here. Industrial Revolution 1 shifted this center of abundance to Europe, with the Industrial Revolution being there. Industrial Revolution 2 took this center of abundance to US or North America. Industrial Revolution 2.5 tilted it towards China as abundance, or as China started becoming richer. Industrial Revolution 3 tilted it towards India. As the world started becoming a service economy, India started becoming the center of activity of the world. And now if we look at it, Industrial Revolution 4 has tilted it further towards India. COVID-19 has further tilted it towards India. Here's another video.
There are two Indias in this country. One India is training at the leash, eager to spring forth and live up to all the adjectives that the world has been recently showering upon us. The other India is the leash. One India says, give me a chance and I'll prove myself. The other India says, prove yourself first and maybe then you'll have a chance. One India lives in the optimism of our hearts. The other India lurks in the skepticism of our minds. One India, one.
Hello.
Well, time to rethink and restructure and leverage, because
Okay.
the revolution is shifting and tilting towards India. Let's use it.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would like to say, try to listen the pukar of your own nation, your own soul first, your own community, society first, then your nation, then the globe. They are just shouting and giving you the opportunity. Concentrate there. There are always two thoughts: personal mindset as well as in social mindset. There is always an opportunity. There is always a depression. Don't go by depressions. Find out what charges you, what gives you energy, and rush towards it, and maybe have a cohesive mindset for the pukar of the situation.
Right. Okay. Anybody else? Hanji, kya mila? All right, we'll move on. So the India story. Why India now? World is getting back to sustainability. India has a tradition of sustainable practices. Intellectual capital has always been in India. World is looking for alternate manufacturing hub. India has a favorable position. DNA of abundance is present here. What have been some of the winners of COVID-19? First is environment. Environment has got an opportunity to heal. Zoom, WebEx, or online meeting platforms, they have been winners. Geo and Facebook have been winners. Digital ecosystem has been winners. And we have added internet to Roti Kapda and Makan. So Roti Kapda, Makan, or internet. India can become the pharmacy of the world. This is an article, I'll share this. Okay. And India is becoming its own Silicon Valley. I'll share this video also with you. Next, let us look at transition to green. All the big companies are actively moving towards green initiatives. So if we look at Tata's, so they're into bulk manufacturing, automotive, ICT, information communication technology, telecom, retail, hospitality, and reality. So there is a gradual shift towards green technologies or green industries. Reliance is into textiles, petrochemicals, ICT, telecom, retail, and media. Mahindras are into aerospace, automotive, ICT, reality, agribusiness, finance, energy, and steel. ITC is into tobacco, FMCG, hospitality, paper, agribusiness, and ICT. Right? Let us look at Reliance Industries as a phenomena. Reliance is known to build world-class establishments. One of the largest polyester filament plant they built at Patalganga. They built the integrated complex at Hazira. They built the largest refinery in the world at Jamnagar. They found India's largest gas discovery in the Krishna Godavari basin. And Reliance Platforms, this is actually a smaller figure, has raised 150 lakh crore rupees during this lockdown itself. Okay, so this is the 150,000 crores, 150 lakhs, all right. So the last one was on 15th of July, wherein Google invested in 7.7% stake. All right. Now, how did this happen? This happens only when you are looking at a larger enterprise, a larger world. If you are keeping an eye on which way is the world headed. In 1950s, 60s, 70s, they saw that there was an opportunity in the petroleum space, and then they graduated from textiles to petroleum. And then they saw internet coming. First, they created the mobile phone. Later on, they moved into Geo, right? So this is how we've got to look at which way is the world headed and invest in those technologies or platforms. Here's a study by KPMG from 2018. So it is slightly dated, so some data may not be relevant, but yet it is a very interesting study. Okay. They say global trade is going to increase. Okay. Cross-border trade is going to increase. Commercial services is going to increase, and developing countries are going to have an increased share in the global trade. And Asia Pacific is the hub for cross-border e-commerce. Okay. The growth drivers behind this is growing internet connectivity globally, rising cross-border internet traffic, increased adoption of mobile-based shopping, and widening range of digitally tradable products, and innovative technologies enabling physical trade of goods. So these are some of the products which are being exported from India. So gems and precious metals, mineral fuels including oil, machinery including computers, vehicles, organic chemicals, pharmaceuticals, iron and steel, clothing accessories, electrical machinery equipment, knit, crochet, clothing accessories. Okay. Top services being exported from India: So computer, IT, travel, personal, others, other business, technical, trade related, and other businesses. Other business, professional and management consulting. Transport freight, and financial, explicitly charged, and other financial services, right? Focus categories are travel, brand, real estate, software as a service, media and entertainment, and others. Target markets: China, Indonesia, Malaysia, UK, and US. Medical tourism is bound to increase. Indian retail play is bound to increase, and we've been seeing this for almost a decade now. Global real estate expansion, with large chunks of money being available in with the expats. They have been investing into India in the retail space. NRI investment in retail space maximum comes from United Arab Emirates, United States, KSA, Singapore, United Kingdom, Canada, and others. SaaS opportunities have been increasing. So there are a lot of platforms which are offering services, software as a service. Video and gaming opportunities, especially with COVID, video and gaming has become even larger. I'm sure we would have already surpassed these 2022 numbers. So this is all what I had for today. So now let us have a short discussion and then complete for the day. So what did you get? Or what are your takeaways from today?
I think there are many opportunities lying around, and many opportunities for diversifications also. I need to connect to the right people and find out the right opportunities. Considering 2030, I think now the target should be 2030. Our focus should be on 2030. Instead of when is the vaccine going to come and when is the COVID is going to end. I think for me it was a shift. For now I have clarity of 2030, that I should focus on 2030 now, and I should take my actions accordingly. Maybe for new ventures, diversifications, joint ventures, whatever it is, whatever is coming through my way. That's what my take home is today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Who's next?
Yeah,
Jagesh.
you listed down several opportunities in the areas where the sustainability, and the last few slides, the opportunities there. So I have to relook and see if we can add that to a business plan. Yeah, it's something to look at definitely seriously to for future growth.
Absolutely. So there is a lot more which is available out there, right? Hanji, who's next?
By examples, we should learn. When the entire world is weeping that the businesses are down, how Reliance is buying out, or how Reliance is bringing in money, how Reliance is making others to invest in them, how Reliance is investing in what kind of portfolios. Means they are the visionaries, and we have to develop that vision. Maybe small, whatever size we have, but we have to develop that vision.
Awesome. And it is not about Reliance. Reliance was just an example. Okay, we'll come across many more. Just yesterday, I was speaking to my cousin who is a pilot with Vistara Airlines. During the COVID time, they opened an international circuit. So Delhi-London flights they've opened during this period. Okay, now that may not be a very big deal. Had it been open, they might have opened 5 more circuits. But at least they are in the direction, right? So we've got to keep on looking at that. Yeah, who else?
Yeah, Atul.
Yeah, Pushp.
See, Atul, I have seen, the one part of business where, we decide some objective and some ideas, and we start a business which has a very sustainable, the business. You keep on adding the customer and keep on adding with respect to the references and all that. So that is a growth part that I have seen almost a decade now. Now I am second. Now I'm getting into the second part of the business where actually the world is moving. When you look at people from IIT, IIMs, they are 23, 24 years old guys. Like you see Oyo and all these guys who are actually were nothing but an aggregator. They have not created any anything which will any product where there is a limited boundaries. They have created a platform where actually they have reached to the global recognition. So I am also in the process of like you said in the as a UN initiative of a sustainable development. So there is something called as now quality education and the technology to benefit all. So I am in the path of I am creating a product which will change the world, the way world see the education. There is nobody in India so far. So maybe I think we are working on the 2020, 2030 way to change the now quality education.
Absolutely. See, just consider when Mahatma Gandhi, when he started talking about independence, he was not the first guy who spoke about it.
Right.
Right? So that had been around for maybe 100 years before that, maybe 50 years before that. He sustained that conversation.
Right.
And this conversation did not sustain by him giving lollipops to everybody.
Right.
It's sustained by collecting a consensus around himself. And everybody who came or joined him, he joined as if it is his own movement.
Correct.
All right. So that enrollment, that is the key differentiating factor.
Correct.
See, we could have still been a British colony. Or maybe we could have got independence maybe 25 years later. But those initiatives help to galvanize the world, help to galvanize the idea. So whichever business you are in, there is a sustainable opportunity out there. Right? Great. Thank you, Pushp. Who else? I think Mahadev and Sachin are remaining, right?
No, I shared.
So
I shared.
you said, sorry, who then? Sachin, you
Yeah.
shared? Sachin was on a phone. Jigish also shared. Pushp also shared. Shripadji also shared. So Sachin, we are waiting for you. So overall, do you think this is something which is important today? The kind of conversation that we've had.
Yeah, it is definitely important.
It is, sir. It is not only important. This is a need of the hour. Because right now, what you rightly said is we are going through difficulties as a businessman, and we need to change our thinking pattern. Basically, basic is, I think, that is very important. At least for me, to shift the focus completely. Because right now situations are not so good outside. It is improving, but still there is an uncertainty, and which we cannot deny. But still, this kind of, I think, knowledge-oriented programs are very, very important. It is helping me a lot it is giving me a lot of confidence to look
Thank
at
you.
myself only, basically. Yeah.
Thank you. See, I am looking at 6.4 crore MSMEs in India. See, that's the figure of the ministry of their annual report. And a large majority of them would be going through the same motions. So I seek your support to reach out to as many people as possible, as many entrepreneurs as possible. Right? Yeah. Sachin, are you there? Okay, I think he's busy. So fair enough. We'll complete it for the day. Tomorrow morning, again, we'll meet at 10 o'clock and look at the next aspect. So today we looked at the global picture or the larger picture. Tomorrow we'll sharpen it further, and day after it will have laser focus. So you bring problems from your business tomorrow, and we'll look at those as well.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
time. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you. Bye.